Manchester United are feeling like the Frenkie de Jong deal might take a lot of time, and they've gone ahead to look for the alternative to go in and sign him at Manchester United. That's one of the main stories leading this episode that we first show today on Monday. Then we are having Dumfries. United are pushing in for Denzel Demfries to come in and really tussle out with Diego Dalot for that right back position of United either for you. Then we are talking which other player? We are talking Eriksen in Manchester for the very first time was spotted either for you, and very many other stories in here for you onto the United Matters channel. How are you guys, and where are you watching? Where are you watching us from? I go by the names of Rock and David. Smash the like button, guys. Comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to our channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Now, this is our first video of the day, and we've come late, but almost. We are going to cover close to 3 or 4 stories today. Don't turn your phone or your tablet or smart TV anywhere else. Just keep it United Matters channel, because Rokan is here to bring you the latest news that is coming in from Manchester United in there for you. First and foremost, allow me start with the story coming in from the cm.com in there for you. It's in from Italy. They're telling us that Erik Ten Hag is pushing for Denzel Dumfries to join Manchester United. United are in pole position. Inter Milan want 40 million euros in there for you. So, if you watch the tour very well, it showed you that Aaron Wan-Bissaka is not in the plans of Erik Ten Hag, and Erik Ten Hag is really looking for another right back here for you to come and really set up the pace or competition with Diego Dalot. Someone will say, if at all you're having Diego Dalot, why go in for a man who goes by the names of Denzel Demfries? Yeah, that's what we call a big team. A big team should be having players competing for the position and are really at a top class level. Demfries is good and Dalot is good, and Dalot looked great into the preseason, but Demfries I think is better than him, provided he adapts with what we call the Premier League. But what that brings us with is that it widens our quality. You get the quality that we have and the depth that we have. In the modern game, right backs are so much, or full backs are so much important in really putting up assists into the style of Erik Ten Hag. When we look at Erik Ten Hag, there is the way he really tries to lead that wide area where the right back really flies a lot and freedom open. He does so much of his game into the central axis. You get between the two center, they're called the what? They're called the half spaces. In those half spaces, the two half spaces and the central axis, that's where the game of Erik Ten Hag is so much built, such that it creates lots of spaces on the wide areas of the pitch. So that's why United needs Denzel Dumfries, and I really believe that he will be a very good signing at United if at all we need him. And 40 million euros is little money for United to bring in Dumfries, because he's one of the most prospected next right backs in the world. I first saw him at the Euros in the Netherlands team because I support Netherlands. He plays very well, and he even scores goals, because for Inter Milan he created close to 11 assists and scored 5 goals. So that is the kind of player that Erik Ten Hag is needing there for you, because when you look at the modern game, it requires you to be having such players. However much Diego Dalot is good, but if at all you want to make him better, you have to bring in someone whom they're going to come in and compete for that position. Look at Man City; they're having Cancelo and Kyle Walker. You get? So every team should be having 2 players competing for one position, and those 2 players should be of quality in the field. So Denzel Dumfries, expect that story to hit so much into the media this week. That is obvious. It's going to hit the media a lot this week, because Erik Ten Hag and the Dutch players, obviously you know what that means either for you, that when he's linked to a Dutch player, it's very hard for us not to bring him. That's why you see that deal of De Jong is on. We are not in the Champions League, but they're saying the reason as to why De Jong is going to Manchester United is because the manager is Dutch in there for you. So that is Denzel Dumfries in there for you. So wait and see how that story matures in there for you. Now, Christian Eriksen is in Manchester, now unlikely to train with Manchester United teammates for the very first time this week. Squad are due to train back on Tuesday. You remember, the team flew back from Australia, Perth, last After playing the game on Saturday, they flew back to to Manchester, and they arrived yesterday at around lunchtime, and they've been given a day off by Erik ten Hag, and he expects them tomorrow morning at Carrington to go ahead and really train with them, because we believe that there is a lot of things still to do after that Aston Villa game. Lots of positives and lots of negatives in there for you. Having led a game by 2-0, then they came from behind and scored two goals against us, one in the 10 minutes. Erik ten Hag has lots of things to address in this team of United in the fight. So Eriksen was spotted yesterday, by the way, into the city of Manchester for the very first time ever since he was unveiled by United in the for you, but we've not yet seen him really hold that shirt in the for you. But let's wait and see when he's really going to hold that shirt, because that's really the most important bit in the for you. But we wait to see how Eriksen is going to fit into this team of United. But according to how we played in Perth, you really believe that we really needed a player like Eriksen, because we lost control of the game. So that is Eriksen in Manchester, spotted in the for you and doing the needful on the streets of Manchester and preparing to join United and play or train with Erik ten Hag in there for you. So when you look at the way we played in Perth, it showed you that Erik ten Hag had known that, all right, I need to make a substitutions, but who would he have brought onto that field of play? It shows you that the first team is really okay, but we need to get in enough players. You get? Such that our squad is really deep enough. So Eriksen is in the city. He's going to train with United tomorrow, and he is expected to do a very fundamental role in this season, because in the game against Aston Villa in Perth, if at all we had him, they would have brought him on and would have really gained a lot of control, because he would have really given us control of the game. We lost control of the game. Bruno was out. Danny Van Beek couldn't handle. Freddie was only making blind passes in the entire, I think, 25 minutes played into the second half. So I really believe that we need to see to it that Eriksen is really good. And that's the importance of this guy. And that's why I really say that however much this story was already out, I need to come out and really put up something for Eriksen, because he's a player that we are needing at Manchester United in there for you, and expect him to come in and really do us a favor at United in there for you. Now, let's talk Frenkie de Jong. Frenkie de Jong has been the news. He was played as a central defender, and Xavi told him that if I told you how to start Barcelona, there are two conditions. You're supposed to take a 50% pay cut to stay at Barcelona. You get? And secondly, you're going to play as a central defender. That's what Xavi told Frenkie de Jong. Everything they are doing, it's like they're making life hard for him to really feel like, I'm fed up for Barcelona, let me leave. Barcelona want to sell, and they really want to get money. They've already agreed a deal with Manchester United, 75 million euros up front plus 10 million euros as add-ons. So Xavi told him 50%, you should be getting that in the for you. But we are having managing Barca. They're telling us that the ball is in Frenkie de Jong's court. If he wants to stay at Barcelona, he will have to accept the wage cut. If he doesn't, Xavi will be forced to sell. Have you heard that? If he doesn't, Xavi will be forced to sell. But how do you come in here and tell me that I should really take a 50% pay cut, yet I'm demanding you my deferred wages of 17 million euros in there for you, and you've not yet paid me my money? You are telling me to take a pay cut. So I think it will be a decision that I don't see Frenkie de Jong taking, guys. I don't really see him doing that. For the love of Barcelona, you take a pay cut. You've been humiliated left, right, and center. They are no longer playing you in the midfield. They see you as a fifth choice center back for Barcelona because Jules Koundé is arriving today. You get Jules Koundé, Christensen, and Garcia, plus Gerard Piqué, plus Araujo. All of those are ahead of Frenkie de Jong in the picking order of the central defenders of Barcelona. So I don't see him really accepting or really bending to these clauses put in by Barcelona. Is he going to dance to the music of Barcelona? I doubt. Even someone from TalkSport came out and said this. Alex Cook of TalkSport said, I would be shocked if Frenkie de Jong does take the 50% pay cut, especially when he's owed those wages in there for you. Obviously, Alex Sport works for TalkSport in there for you, and he has been so much on point in most of the news has been letting out as far as the deals are concerned in there for you. And Fabrizio told us that the agent of Frenkie de Jong and Frenkie de Jong don't want to take a pay cut. They don't want to take a pay cut because if Barcelona was doing bad financially, where are they getting the money to sign in Rafinha, Frank Kessie, Christensen, and now they brought Lewandowski, and they are bringing in a 50th signing of a player who goes by the names of Jules Koundé. So this is really a reason that has really left Frenkie de Jong between a hard place and a rock. You get? Because he's asking himself, you don't want to pay me my deferred wages, the 17 million euros, and you are telling me you don't have money. So how can I believe you when every day you are really going in for other players? After signing in Jules Koundé, they are going in for Bernardo Silva, they're going in for Marcus Alonso, they're going in for Azpilicueta, meaning they're going to sign close to 11 players this summer. So Frank is asking himself, you're telling me you don't have money. Where are you getting the money to pay all these guys? Where are you getting it? That really leaves a lot of question marks into the head of Frenkie de Jong, and he's supposed to take a 50% pay cut in there for you. And Xavi Miguel Club, a very close source to Barcelona, has told us that Xavi insists that he's counting on Frenkie de Jong and considers him a big player, capable of playing in other positions such as centre-back. He has been told to make an economic decision in order to stay. Now, after being humiliated from the midfield, because they got him out of the midfield, the 2 games they've played in America, he's been playing as a central defender, and they just brought him on. So, do you think if a player is in his normal senses with the manager, can't he sense that they are just trying to push him out? Obviously, for me, we believe that Frenkie de Jong is better than Pedri and Gavi. He's better than Frank Kessie. The only player that is better than him in that midfield of Barcelona is obviously Busquets. And as Busquets is really nearing his exit from Barcelona, because I think this is going to be his last season, he has already agreed a deal with an American club in MLS, they would have really grooming De Jong to become the replacement of Sergio Busquets. That's not the case. They brought in Frank Kessie, meaning that Barcelona planned for his exit way back, and the board with Xavi convened to see to it that they really get this lad out of Barcelona. But let's wait and see what that happens. But every day, because everything is just turning on like it's coming to United or not, United have said, wait a little bit. Barcelona and Frenkie de Jong, Joan Laporte, we came in and agreed a deal. You failed to give us the player. It looks like we are turning away from you. And guess what? This is the alternative that Manchester United has really found out. It said United have identified Lazio's Serge Milokovic-Savic as the alternative plan if Frenkie de Jong doesn't sign. That is via mail, and that is via Sky Sport. And there is Ekrem Kona from France. He has told us that United are considering a move for Lazio and Serbia midfielder Serge Milokovic-Savic, age 27 years, as an alternative to Frenkie de Jong. Obviously, as things stand, it looks like United needs to put out stories to show to it that they are looking out for alternatives. We know that Frenkie de Jong is Erik ten Hag's plan A, B, and C, but at the situation as it stands, we need to put out stories that really threaten Barcelona. The stance they are giving us on this deal is really taking so much long. How can we be on a deal of close to 3 months? Because today, I think by the 11th made 2 months. United negotiating this deal. Now, if it hits 11th August, it will be 3 months United negotiating this deal. Now, what United are doing is right. I don't believe that we are 100% into this Milokovic-Savic deal, but obviously even Lazio want to sell this lad. They want to sell him. So, what do? You get to the news, and let out the story that there is genuine interest for United in Milokovic-Savic, such that Barcelona will know that, all right, United have found an alternative for Milokovic-Savic. Obviously, if they bring in Milokovic-Savic at United, I will be okay with him. I'll be okay with him because he would love to come to United. Obviously, he won't be like Frenkie de Jong. Secondly, he won't take the wages that Frenkie de Jong is going to take in there for you. And at least, he'll be like a reliever in a midfield. That's it. He gets you a lot of goals. He's tall. He's good on the ball, press resistant. He has got genuine qualities and potential. So I think it won't be a bad option because 2 months are enough for the De Jong deal. Because it's now 2 months and some weeks. They're enough. Guys, 2 weeks, 2 months and 3 weeks are enough for the De Jong deal. Why should we keep on this deal till when? Just 2 weeks from now, we are going to be playing our first game in the Premier League against Crystal Palace. And I wouldn't like to see Freddie and Scott McTominay start into that midfield. It's something I hate to see. We need to see a sign that shows us that there has been an improvement and a change ever since Ten Hag came in here. And that shouldn't be seen with McFreddy into the double midfield pivot as we play side which goes by Brighton. That's a way. We need to reinforce our midfield. So if at all Frenkie de Jong and Barcelona have failed to really tussle out their issues, let's get linked to Milokovic-Savic. And as soon as we've seen Milokovic-Savic being linked to Manchester United, Barcelona is moving and they are planning a meeting. Laporte is really planning a meeting with Xavi and Frenkie de Jong to let the player know the truth that, please, we no longer need you at Barcelona. Because they've done everything, but it looks like Xavi, it looks like the agent of Frenkie de Jong is saying, no way, we are still here. We want our money. We want our 17 million euros in there for you. And that's the main reason as to why this deal is stalling. Because I don't think Frenkie de Jong will stay at Barcelona as a bench player who won't even get enough playing time. Xavi has come out and really told him that I cannot assure you of enough playing time. That's it. That's it. Obviously, on any day, Barcelona will pick its La Masia graduates over a player whom they bought expensively. And they're getting an offer from United equaling to the amount of money they pay to Ajax to get his services. That is 85 million euros. So they see this as an opportunity to dispose Frenkie de Jong of themselves. Obviously, Frenkie de Jong wants to start Barcelona, but Barcelona is telling him, please, we don't want you. Even the second string side of Barcelona, they are showing him that he does not fit the midfield. Because in the game of Barcelona versus Real Madrid, they brought in Frankesi, they played Nicole, and which other player in the midfield. But it was not Frenkie de Jong. It wasn't Frenkie de Jong at all. They don't need him. And United, to me, according to what my mindset is telling me, they are putting out this Milokovic, the Savic, Milokovic deal in there for you. They want to put pressure on Barcelona to see to it that, what are you up to? Are you giving us Frenkie de Jong or not? That's the big question. And we are going to be linked to very many other central midfielders in this week that is coming, because United need to get a solution and an answer from Barcelona as soon as possible. Eriksen needs the player. I think they're communicating with the player. That's why I'm 100% sure that this player is going to come to United, because there is no way he would have been really hinging so much onto this deal when he knew that the player didn't want to come to United. Obviously, I know the player wants to come, but Barcelona need to pay these wages that he really demands them of 17 million euros. And before they paying him that money, they are telling him to take a 50% pay cut of his salary. Will Frenkie de Jong accept? Alex Crook of TalkSport is telling us, no way, he won't accept that in here onto United Matters channel. Go into the comment section. Tell me what do you think about Frenkie de Jong. Will he take the 50% pay cut? Will he come to United? Will he remain at Barcelona and be a bench player ahead of the World Cup? Comment section is where I expect you guys to put your answers. Then Denzel Demfries being linked to Manchester United, as Erik ten Hag is pushing so much to have this player at Old Trafford. Reactions to that is welcome. And Eriksen already in Manchester and expected to train with United tomorrow as they resume their training after the preseason tour from Bangkok to Australia and now back to Manchester. But remember, over the weekend, on Saturday, we are playing a game against Atletico Madrid, and on Sunday, we are playing Rayo Vallecano at Old Trafford in there for you. I sign out for now. See you later, and your reactions are welcome into the comment section below. Rokan David is my name. I'm out.